Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Patreon show where Papa Joe knows. I'm sorry, this is not the Patreon show. This is my regular show where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. So, I'm squirrely today, apparently, and not getting my stuff right. But yeah, fun times for sure. Good morning to all of you. Good afternoon and good evening. Thank you for being part of the show here today. Those of you who tuned in for yesterday's Patreon show, that was a fun conversation with Clint Westwood. Had a lot of fun in that conversation. Very, very much so. Enjoyed that, and it was a really, really good time. So if you have a chance, go to over to the Patreon and watch that show. If you're not a member, it's scrolling along the bottom of the screen as well as linked in the description of the channel. It's $5 a month. Helps the show out, helps me out, stuff like that. But I really wish I didn't have to do it at the end of the day because our freedom of speech is under attack, and that is realistically how I can have a real conversation with everyone in an unfiltered manner. So that way you don't have to be concerned about the video being pulled down. I have the copy of it and all that fun stuff. I'll just put it back up somewhere else. Just reconnect a different type of plumbing on the back end and keep right on going. Or as happening up north here, trucking. Keep right on trucking. Hopefully you start using that word there or that phrase. We'll put it that way. So, also, as some of you know, because you are part of it, which I am grateful for, the Crypto Confidential went live yesterday, and the discussion boards and forums are having a tremendous amount of activity. And the first report went out yesterday, and all that fun stuff. So, very, very, very good information. I highly recommend to seriously consider, not financial advice, not advice in any way, really. But check out Crypto Confidential. It sure does help the channel out there. It's linked at the bottom of the screen here as well, and it is also linked in the description of the video. So, with that, go ahead and get off talking through all that stuff there. Today, we're going to talk about some very interesting things. I want to, as the markets are down, I want to discuss what is happening in the way of adoption, which is very, very intriguing to me. Every time any kind of interesting news comes out around adoption, it's like the prices get slammed. I mean, very, very, very odd how that happens. I don't know if you all noticed or not, but when I woke up this morning, I had a notification that PayPal had dropped 25%. So lots of stuff happening out there. Anyhow, I'm going to pop through here and have some fun in the chat here. Oh, by the way, if you're watching live, there's a live chat running. Pop in there, say hey, at least say hey, say hi, whatever. But most of the time, people in there, they have a good conversation while I'm talking through this stuff here about what we're talking about. But as I am able to, I will bring the comments into the show here, and we have great comments, good time, whatever, fun stuff. So, all right, so let's roll through here, and Daddy-O up at the top. I might just be talking about this on my Patreon this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern. Jeff Zucker got caught with in the yeah, he did. He must have. Heads are going to be rolling, people. Those of you who understand or followed our friend 17 or 17th friend will understand that this type of stuff you're going to start seeing a lot more for a lot of different reasons. Oh, it's about to get very, very interesting. It's also about to get very, very disturbing as the truth starts to come out about all of that stuff. I touched on that this afternoon. Thanks for bringing that up, Daddy-O. Scott, what's up, brother? Good morning. How are you doing? Bitcoin Manager Jim, how's it going, man? Tom, good morning. Good morning. What's going on, brother? We've got Kim in the house. Good afternoon. Good morning. Got Busy Mountain. What's going on? How you doing? Clint Westwood, as I said yesterday on the Patreon. Gotta go join it, though, to see it. Even if you join it and leave it, whatever. But the video's there. It was a very, very fun conversation. Absolutely, brother. You are fantastic. Thank you for doing that. It means a lot to me that you came on. Let's see, who else do we have here? Bitcoin Bull, good morning. How are you? Aren't you snowed in? Yeah, you are. You're kind of stuck. It dumped snow all night last night where you're at. Crazy time, brother. Crazy time. Let's see, who else do we got in here? Who else? We got Divvy Daddy. What's up, brother? How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Really, really appreciate you being there. Oh, yep. So Tom is in there. I'm in there for the Crypto Confidential. We had a launch Zoom last night. We had everyone in there. It was fantastic. Lots of really good questions, lots of really good conversation, lots of funny jokes, things like that came out. It was very, very interesting. I'm still laughing about some of them. But yeah, we wanted to create with Crypto Confidential. I'll talk about it a little more since David brought it up. Thank you for doing that. We are creating a community of like-minded individuals to really, really dig into the real minutia and the in the weeds stuff around crypto and how to use it in your day-to-day life and things like that. So think about it. It's so far for me, it's been worth the investment. Very, very much so. So anyways, I am going to oh yeah, Clint, you're stuck in the snow too. Yeah, that's a good workout right there. All right, so alrighty, let's see here. I forgot to share the screen. Hopefully I get the right screen. So if I don't get the right screen, I have like a million screens open. And hey, look, I got the right screen. Let's see if it'll actually work this time. And we're off. Sweet. So Bitcoin is down. Yep. So I kind of wanted to talk about start showing the live charts of what's taking place in the market. And just kind of feel like it'd be kind of fun to talk about those things starting off. If you guys don't like that, then let me know. I will not do it anymore. But it's coming down. It's definitely coming down. And so is other things. But the stupid plunge protection team has got these daggum thing running up again. So for those of you who have been paying attention over the past several months, crypto and the general stock market have been tied together. They're not anymore. Did they just decouple? While crypto is down, but are they decoupling? It's a good question. I have a friend of mine who pays attention to the technicals in a very, very, very deep manner. Very interesting to think about how they're decoupled, which is kind of nice when you think about the grand scheme of things. I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, Bitcoin produced a death cross and all this other stuff. It's not. We're good. Crypto is going to be very, very much so a long-term hold. It will be for me. I will not let it go. Let's go look at Matic. Matic is also producing and printing the same stupid chart. That's intriguing. So they're tied together. It's tied with Bitcoin. I wonder what that means. What else we got here? Divi. Definitely not tied. That is an interesting looking chart, isn't it? All right. So, anyways, let's move on now to the adoption. Those of you who've been following El Salvador, it relaunches Chivo, its wallet that plans to deploy to 1,500, and it plans to deploy, and it's going to set up 1,500. Let's mute that. Sorry, that was Cliff High tweeting some things on his Telegram channel. If you're not following his Telegram channel, you really should. Great content there for sure. Anyhow, so El Salvador is going to launch 1,500 ATMs. Seeking a permanent solution for over 4 million Bitcoin users, the government of El Salvador focuses on Chivo, while its stability and uptime, scalability, and social impact. Yeah, El Salvador's first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. It has relaunched its in-house Chivo. I can't, I'm gonna keep butchering this. Its in-house wallet, Chivo, addresses the existing challenges of Bitcoin transfers locally with Alpha Point integration. The updated Chivo wallet is expected to carry out instantaneous, low-fee Bitcoin transactions while fixing concerns related to stability and scalability. I wonder if that's going to use the Lightning Network. Yeah, it probably is. Be really, really, really cool to see that kind of stuff. Within the first month of establishing Bitcoin as legal tender, President Nayib Bukele announced that Chivo Wallet onboarded 2.1 million Salvadorians, to more than half of the population of the country. That's pretty crazy. Which by the end of the year amasses to 75%. Excuse me. I was wrong about that. I didn't even finish reading. Well, it said 4 million up above. I'm assuming it did, didn't it? Yeah, 4 million. Anyways, however, the mass adoption met with numerous roadblocks, included system issues and missing funds. So they fixed all this stuff, evidently, and are going to also be setting up ATMs nationwide. Now, we all know that these are the first people in the street dancing. The rest of the people will come out, they'll wonder what the world's going on, and they'll start dancing too. Here's the thing. When I posted this on my Twitter yesterday. Actually, I felt like that was a funny one, so I'm gonna pull it up. Twitter.com. Let's go pull that up. I post a lot of stuff. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's Papa Joe 42. For those of you who don't know, Papa Joe got deleted by Twitter because I was talking about the truth back when 17 was posting regularly. Just to put it into perspective for you there. Anyhow, that one's gone. Hey, look, it's live. Where was it? There's that. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what it was. Blockchain doesn't care about your regulations. It's already regulated. Hashtag crypto cannot be stopped. Nations have tried. China. Look at how the IMF is acting like a babysitter who can't control the kids they're watching with El Salvador. Now, Johnny, you better stop, or El Salvador is going, yeah, or what? That's really how they're acting with the IMF. It really is. Anyways, Papa Joe 42. Follow me on Twitter. I post different things throughout the day. Fun times where we share different stuff. So El Salvador is literally saying, screw you, to IMF, to the global banks. They're going to continue down the path of crypto and really Bitcoin, and they're going to continue to do this stuff. It's not a joke. It is a big deal, and we're going to see some very, very intriguing things come out of this. Like I mentioned before, you've got other South American related countries that are looking at doing this. You've got Turkey who's looking at this. You've got some other really big economies looking at doing this. This is not a joke. Highly recommend you seriously consider. Those of my regulars, you are already in crypto. Great. If you're new to the channel, well, when this becomes legal tender globally, and it will, and everyone's like, how can you be so sure? Because it's sound money. It's sound money. Excuse me. Bitcoin Bull, that is a very, very good way to put that. El Salvador, the Canadian trucker of the world. Canadian truckers aren't just up there by themselves. They got lots of people from the U.S. and other countries that are from in the U.S., whatever. They're out there too. Not playing around. It's going to be very, very, very crazy. Busy Mountain. If El Salvador wanted adoption, you'd think they'd pick a crypto that works as money, like Litecoin or Divi or I don't know, something like that. Who's to say they won't? Bitcoin is the biggest and the first mover, just like with Ethereum being the biggest and first mover in the smart contract or blockchain platform. There are now other blockchains like Matic or Polygon that could effectively take over market share from Ethereum. When I say market share, I mean the developers are moving to Polygon. You've got the investors who are moving to Polygon. You got VC funding that's moving to Polygon. So I guess that falls under investors. When you have the builders move over to the new platform, that's when you will start to eventually see the old system, if they don't adjust, which they haven't been able to, because there's like some sort of infighting. Look, you can't take a coin. Little side tangent, here, little squirrel. You can't take a coin that's been mined and it is mineable. When you have all of these miners who have invested serious money, I mean serious money, into the equipment to mine and run the network, you can't just flip a switch and turn it to proof of stake. I guess you could, but you'd have to really do a hard fork, and then you'd have two coins, which is they refuse to do. I don't know why. I guess they refuse to do it because they want to maintain control over the entire system. But they did a hard fork at one point. You got Ethereum Classic, and then it caused all kinds of crazy stuff. You've got Bitcoin who's forked multiple times, right? But Bitcoin still remains the Bitcoin. Ethereum is going to still remain Ethereum. However, unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum has real actual competitors who are actually capable of taking over what they're doing. Bitcoin, not really. Not really. I think you could see lots of different things happen when it comes to the adjustment of cryptos in the, we'll call it, not necessarily market share, but market dominance. So anyways, I digress. So yeah, fun times. Let's look here and keep right on moving here. So those of you, wow, that's really small. Sorry. I better. Those of you who understand, NYDIG partnered a while back with Fidelity to enable banks across the nation, hundreds, I think it got up into the thousands of different banks or banking systems, to allow custodianship, use, spend, trading inside of the bank account for each individual user of each bank. If they wanted to do so, they are now enabled to do so and flip those switches on to be able to do that. It makes sense if they're going to do a CBDC, because then I actually have to have the infrastructure to be able to do that kind of stuff. Because right now, a traditional style bank is just a database, numbers running out. It's a mainframe. Those of you in IT, a mainframe is a big, huge single system computer made up of hundreds, sometimes if it's big enough, thousands of other smaller computers, but it's all centralized. Anyways, it's done that way for massive computing and redundancy and all that fun stuff as well. But a mainframe system is typically what they would use to maintain and manage the payment processing and the systems behind all the banking. Well, think about crypto being that, or blockchain technology being that new mainframe that's a distributed and a decentralized system. Anyways, NYDIG did that, but NYDIG is also now launching services, or launches a service for workers to get paid in Bitcoin. Yeah, buddy. That's pretty cool. Now think about that partnership with Fidelity and all this other stuff, and it's just going more and more into that adoption phase. With its Bitcoin savings plan, NYDIG joins Coinbase and Strike with the service allowing employees to auto-convert some or all of their paychecks into Bitcoin. I would like it if it wasn't just Bitcoin. But Bitcoin translates to all other cryptocurrencies, so I guess it doesn't matter. Give or take. I mean, there's some that I guess don't, but you need to understand. It would be awesome if they offered like Litecoin or Ethereum or Matic or Divi or whatever else. I guess it just takes time for that stuff to come up through there. So, anyways, institutional Bitcoin broker NYDIG has launched an employee benefit program allowing workers to participating companies to convert a percentage of each paycheck into Bitcoin. Employees that are enrolled in Bitcoin Savings Plan can choose what percentage of their pay they would like to auto convert into Bitcoin, and the crypto is then held in NYDIG's cold storage system with no transaction or storage fees. That's pretty cool. Except you're not holding your crypto. I would want to know if the employees get to hold their private keys, because if they can't control their private keys, there are other ways to do basically this exact same thing. I think it was Bitwage. Here, I want to pull that up here so you guys can see that. I need to set up an affiliate link with Bitwage, but you can take all of your paycheck if you want, some of your paycheck if you want, and you can convert it into a crypto asset. Now, that's fantastic, especially if you have a regular paycheck that comes through. Pretty cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. Really nice thing about Bitwage is you don't have to get your employer involved. You don't got to get your bank involved. You set this up, and it takes the direct deposit as it comes in and then converts and diverts it into whatever crypto you want it to. It didn't even hit your checking account yet. So yeah, it's very, 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 very cool. Oh yeah, that's true. Bitbull, they do charge 1% of whatever you're moving in. So that's something to keep in mind that you're gonna, for budgetary reasons, if you want to think about it. So, I mean, they got to make money too, right? They're offering a service; they need to make money. It makes sense. That's only fair. In time, that too will grow up and adjust and change and everything as well. So, yeah, more adoption. And those of you who have been paying attention the past few days, just like the Federal Reserve's talking about it, just like China's done it, now India is looking at it setting up a digital rupee as soon as this year. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Now, this comes on the heels or in the same announcement that India's finance minister has said that the country will launch a digital version of the rupee as early as this year in her annual budget speech. So it's at the same time. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. Let's leave it alone. The finance minister also outlined plans for a 30% tax on income from digital assets. That's ridiculous. See, they're trying to set up this digital CBDC so they can actually tax you for your crypto and your earnings. At least that's my theory. From a legal standpoint, I don't think they can because it's technically outside of their banking system. The central banking system is not set up to do this stuff. It never was intended to do this stuff, and it never will because it's not. That is just what it is. This is not a central asset. This is a decentralized and distributed asset, and that is not how centralized banks work. If it was, then they would have built it that way. It just doesn't work that way. Anyways, it will put profits from trading or transferring cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens in the country's highest tax bracket. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not going to work. Again, I'm still listening to Cliff on this. Global banks are going to try and do this, and they're going to fail. It's going to happen. They're going to try 3 separate times, and the people are going to look at that and go, see this thing over here is called Bitcoin. You know, not my background there. This is called Bitcoin. Yeah, guess what? It doesn't care about your rules. It doesn't care about your centralized digital currency. It's decentralized and you can't touch it. And it's gonna be cool to watch that happen as the world does exactly what the truckers are doing in Canada, saying "screw you," no, and we mean it. And then they're gonna have to bend to. They're gonna have to bend to it, join or die kind of thing, or they're gonna be bye bye, which is what we need and want anyways. You know why? What makes this all possible? I say this just about every day. So, new listeners, it's because of blockchain technology. Blockchain is literally thousands, and I would not be surprised, millions of small computers computing and processing transactions as one massive computer. But those thousands or millions of computers are set up in a decentralized and distributed manner. I literally have a few running in my house. Your phone can be that. A cash register could be that. The backend server, all the servers in a data center could end up doing that kind of stuff. You got to realize this is literally can be anything and everything that has a compute power associated to it. I know at one point there was a bunch of people before it got shut down. There was a nefarious group of people who built a botnet. Botnets are illegal because of what they're used for. They're used typically for nefarious reasons where they would do DDoS attacks, things like that on people's websites, stuff like that, right? DDoS means denial of service. It is a method by which a hacking group or hacker could go in and force network traffic to a specific IP address and shut down servers because it will overload the server. Yes, I have worn many hats in my careers. Let's put it that way. I used to do security related testing. So I would test different networks to see how strong they were, basically. Anyways, I don't think I could do that kind of stuff anymore. It's way more advanced now than it was back then. But anyhow, there was at one point a botnet that was set up that would follow the moon, not the sun. So the follow the sun model is where you would have support or access to compute while the sun was up all the way around the world, right? So it would follow the moon. So basically at night, different organizations, different people, you're not on your computer at night, you're sleeping. Companies aren't using their servers at night. They're all sleeping, or they're not working. Hours of operation is closed. They're closed. They're not doing business. So what this would do is it would literally follow the moon, and it would kick on. It would run in the background. It would, as soon as the servers went idle, past a certain point in time, it would kick on a miner and it would start mining, and it would constantly mine around the world, and it would constantly never stop. And they never paid for any of it. They stole the electricity, they stole the compute, and they stole the crypto that they mined. That's why it's illegal, because it cannot be tracked really. And then I think they got busted and something like that, and then they had to shut it down at some point. But my point is that in saying that is that you really legitimately cannot stop this system. It can, and it has been proven that it can literally live everywhere. Something to think about. Anyways, last thing I kind of wanted to touch about here is Grayscale launches an ETF of Bitcoin exposed companies, including PayPal and Coinbase. PayPal went off a cliff today. Grayscale is branching out by offering an ETF consisting of shares in public companies that are heavily embraced crypto. That makes sense, I guess. Basically, this article talks about an ETF consists of a basket of 22 crypto forward companies. It will trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker GFOF. Let's go check that out. I don't know if it will work or not, but let's see. And look at that. It is there. Let's see what it says. Close. It'd be at the very bottom. I don't think it's launched yet. It hasn't launched yet. Or maybe it has, and that is just, let's go all time. No, let's go past day. Why is it that's so weird? Oh, that's okay. One thing there. Anyways, one candle. So that's interesting. Looks like it whenever they launch or whatever, it actually goes officially live. Oh, well, it says market's open. Maybe it's actually working. Anyways. So Grayscale Investments, which is the best known offering for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the form of shares, is branching out into traditional stock market. Pretty cool. Adoption, people. Adoption. It's here. The more adoption we have, the bigger and better this gets. Now, the reason why crypto won't just stop because of regulation is because, well, it can't be. It's already regulated. It's like I said in my tweet. You can't regulate an already regulated system. And all these regulators are going to sit there and go, now, Johnny, don't be doing that. You need to stop. And then the rest of the world's going to go, or Bitcoin really is going to go, yeah, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And there's actually nothing they can do. Nothing they can do. Anyways, it is right about 30 seconds from my next meeting that I have to run to, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Do me a favor, if you like the content, smash those likes, share this out on your socials, help me grow the channel, and invite your friends and family to subscribe. I really do appreciate that. Also, at 4:30 every day, as long as nothing crazy happens, I have a Patreon show where I have an unfiltered time with Papa Joe, where I get to talk about subjects that I typically would not be able to openly talk about because our First Amendment rights are under attack. And because they're under attack, I have to have a stupid paywall and ask for people to subscribe to that. I genuinely am very grateful for that. I did not even think about how that would be something that would be a good thing. It is. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for those of you who are part of that. It really means a lot to me. Also, just a reminder, Crypto Confidential, it launched yesterday. You really should think about subscribing to that. Subscription link is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It's also linked in the description of the channel. It is worth the investment. It's yearly, so think about it. Really appreciate it. Anyways, you guys all have a wonderful and blessed day. I will see you all this afternoon, as long as all goes well, at 4:30 Eastern for my Patreon show. Y'all be blessed.